Christmas is upon us, the one time of the year to spread the holiday cheer and buy kids stuff they're probably not gonna care about. Whenever the holidays are here, starting with November, I just usually spend my time watching holiday movies till the Christmas day is over with. Because of that, I want to talk about Christmas related stuff, and what better way to start things off than Christmas specials. There are so many of these specials to talk about. But right now, I want to talk about a company that is well known for making Christmas specials. Rankin Bass, I should name my fishing rod that. They're the company that's well known for making animated Christmas specials that you might remember. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the classics. And they've made 17 of these specials, not counting off the spin-offs. That's insane. So in this video, I'll be going through all Rankin Bass Christmas specials by a year and rate them on a scale of 1 to 5. Now with that said, let's go all the way back to 1964. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, man, we have a good start to this already. Based off of a song in 1949, which itself was based off of a poem in 1939. First aired on December 6, 1964 on NBC. Obviously the most beloved Christmas specials of all time, there's no getting around that. This special alone made Rudolph the most iconic characters of all time. The animation looks really good for a special in 1964, even though there are some flaws, but then again, this is where the company was heading for at the time. Great songs, even though some of them aren't winners for me. And it has themes and messages on bullying, outcasts, and leadership. A Christmas special everyone will enjoy. Four years after Rudolph, the Little Drummer Boy comes in. Based off of a song of the same name in 1941, first aired on Canada in December 19th, 1968, and in America 4 days later. I remember having a VHS copy, but I'd never watch it often. But yet again, this is another great special, but it can be deep sometimes. Like our protagonist Aaron had a peaceful and happy life till the bandits came in and takes all of his sheep and kills his parents. Because of this, Aaron vowed to hate humanity. Wow, deep stuff. The animation has been improved and there were some great songs as well. Heck, there's a song that I generally like. Another great special. Another year, another classic. Based on another song of the same name, Frosty the Snowman first aired on December 7th, 1969. Instead of stop motion, they decided to go full on 2D and it actually looks appealing on the characters. The songs aren't nothing much to write home about, they're decent, but none of them never won me over. I remember watching this back at elementary school. I thought it was a really fun special back then, but watching it now, it's still pretty good. Again, it's a classic. Yet another year, yet another classic. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, based on yet another song of the same name. First aired on December 13th, 1970. And it went back to stop motion and it looks a little bit better. Though there are a few flaws, but I really don't care. The songs are again decent, there are actual no winners here. And I love how this Burgermeister guy bans all toys because he trips on one and injured his leg, like a Karen would. But the plot overall is really entertaining. And I also remember watching this back at elementary school and it actually got me interested. 'Twas the night of 1974, a special called 'Twas the Night Before Christmas first aired on December 8th. They went back to the 2D animation and again, it looks appealing for these characters. Up until now, I've never knew that this special existed. So the story here is that everyone in town, including the mice, got their letters back from Santa unopened. Because apparently one of the letters claimed that Santa Claus was a fraud. Because of this, Santa returned all of the letters. But my thing is, why did Santa bother returning all the letters in response of one negative letter? It's just one guy out of billions of people. Why would he care? But anyway, it has some decent songs and it's just a fine special overall. The Year Without a Santa Claus. Based on a book of the same name in 1956, first aired on December 10th, 1974. I remember watching this back in 2018, but I really wasn't that interested in it. And it's a shame because it introduced the most catchiest songs I've ever heard in a special. As for the other songs, they're decent as well. The plot is fine too, it just didn't catch my attention. Whenever I think about this special, my mind immediately goes to the Mr. White Christmas song. That's it. Everything else is okay, I guess. The First Christmas, the story of the first Christmas snow. First aired on December 19th, 1975. And to be honest, it's really not doing much for me. The special is okay, but there's really nothing here that keeps my attention. And sometimes the audio sounds off.
Louisa? Louisa? Is it raining? There's something wet on my face.
Lucas, I can't believe it. Your wish has come true. It's snowing.
Tell me about it like you promised, Louisa.
Like, what on earth happened here? The songs are fine too, but they really don't do much for me either. This one will go down in history as one of the more overrated specials. Frosty's Winter Wonderland, the standalone sequel to Frosty the Snowman. First aired on December 2nd, 1976. Because the first one did so well, they might as well make a second one. It has the old 2D animation like the first one, but it looks somewhat different, especially on Frosty. But it doesn't come to a point where it doesn't look bad. And after all, this special is made by a different studio, so that makes sense. In this sequel, the kid makes Frosty his love that comes to life, Crystal. And eventually, Frosty and Crystal gets married. And Jack Frost makes his debut in this special. But the special overall is pretty great. Rudolph's Shiny New Year, another standalone sequel, but this time to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. First aired on December 10th, 1976. Because the first one did so well, they had to make a second one. You know in the first one how Rudolph saves Christmas? Well, in the sequel, he saves New Year's. How does he do it? By going back in time with his new friends to save some baby, of course. It's not that bad of a plot and it's really entertaining. The songs aren't that catchy, but most of them are pretty good. This might be the special that I might look back from time to time. Maybe, who knows. The Little Drummer Boy Book 2, yet another standalone sequel, but this time to The Little Drummer Boy. First aired on December 13th, 1976. And to be honest, out of all the sequels I've talked about, this one feels unnecessary. So Aaron teams up with one of the wise men to protect the silver bells from greedy Roman soldiers. I think it's fine, but again, it feels unnecessary. Nestor, the long-eared Christmas donkey. Based on a song of the same name in 1975, first aired on December 3rd, 1977. And I'm sorry I'm gonna say this, but this special is somewhat forgettable. Let me put this in short words. It's Rudolph, but a donkey with long ears. That's it. And since this special takes place during the nativity of Jesus, you'd think there would be some kind of connections to the Little Drummer Boy. But sadly, it doesn't, making this a big missed opportunity. The Stingiest Man in Town. Based off of A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens, first aired on December 23rd, 1978. Apparently, this is an animated remake of a live-action musical of the same name in 1956. I'm surprised people barely talk about this. But this special is the Christmas Carol. You're really not missing much here. It's not the best version, but you might as well give this special credit where credit is due. There are a few decent songs here and there, and the animation in this one is good. Really good. The 2D animated specials have been decent stuff, but the animation here is on a whole different level, even though it's from a different studio. Again, it's not the best version of the Christmas Carol, but I like what they were doing here. Rudolph and Frosty's Christmas in July, a crossover of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and Frosty the Snowman. First aired on November 25th, 1979. So here's what's going down here. So this Winterbolt guy is trying to make North Pole his evil Wonderland, and it's up to Rudolph and Frosty and other icons to stop him. I mean, it has a fine plot for a crossover, I guess. And putting up two iconic characters in a crossover special at all is kind of neat. And there were some parts of the special where it's very engaging. But what I'm here for is what Frosty and his family look like in a stop motion space. They look fine, but the 2D animated version looks a lot better. I might look back to this one, but at this point, I'm not even sure. Jack Frost. Yeah, you know Jack Frost from the Frosty sequel and the Frosty and Rudolph crossover. Yeah, he has his own special now. And it first aired on December 13th, 1979. For some reason, I get the Little Mermaid vibes from watching this, even though the special came out 10 years prior. But the plot is kind of engaging and the songs are decent. I really don't have a big takeaway for this. Pinocchio's Christmas. First aired on December 3rd, 1980, and to be honest, it's really not that interesting. I mean, there are somewhat engaging moments, but overall, it's just a forgettable special. The Leprechauns Christmas Gold. First aired on December 3rd, 1981, and again, there's really nothing interesting here. I never understood why they would try to connect Christmas with leprechauns of all things. The special has good moments, but the plot is bland and there's more exposition dumps than adventure, so there's that. And finally, the life and adventures of Santa Claus. Based on a book of the same name, first aired on December 17th, 1985. I remember watching this as well back in 2018 and I kind of find it really confusing. But over time, it's a surprisingly good special. The whole scenery gives off dark fantasy vibes. Good plot, characters, songs, this is a great special. It can be dark, sure, but out of all the specials I've talked about up until this point, I would recommend this special to most people. So, after talking about the Rankin Bass Christmas specials, it's really good looking back to them, especially that I remember watching a few of them as a kid. And look, I've seen so many Christmas specials growing up, and even though Rankin Bass isn't my to-go company for Christmas specials, they still made my childhood when it came to Christmas alone. I used to remember getting excited for Christmas when I was a kid, and any Christmas specials made the experience better, even if it's not from Rankin Bass. Even though they don't make Christmas specials anymore, the legacy will always live on and the specials will always have a place in so many people's hearts. Thank you guys so much for watching and let me know in the comments what's your favorite Rankin Bass Christmas special. But stay tuned, I have a few tricks up on my sleeve.